Hey guys, welcome to PrimeTime Kitchen's How Tuesday, episode number 18. And tonight we're doing like the greatest, everybody loves this dish of all time, even more than meatloaf. It's chicken Alfredo. We're going to do a little bit of a twist on it. We're going to make chicken Alfredo Carbonara, because believe it or not, chicken Alfredo is genuinely one of the easiest recipes on the planet. Anybody can pull it off. The cool thing about it as well is even though we're going to make it with Parmesan cheese tonight, like the stereotypical dish, you can make it with Gruyere. You can make it with a bunch of different cheeses, whatever you like. You can put a little smoked cheese in there to add a little smoky flavor to it. You don't have to use chicken. You can use shrimp. You can use a lot of proteins. I'm Jim. That's my wife, Tori.
Hi.
And we want to thank you guys for joining us again here on PTK's How Tuesday. Of course, during the entire video, if you don't mind liking and share the video, we really appreciate that. Tonight, we're adding something a little in to this. We have a couple trivia questions we're going to ask throughout the broadcast tonight. If you get them right, and we'll check the comments afterwards, we'll email you or Facebook message you, and then you will win either a tumbler. We have an oven mitt and a coffee mug. This coffee mug I use every Sunday morning to drink my coffee here at the house. So we'll send that right out to you. We just actually sent a couple t-shirts and a tumbler out to some fans from our last live show as well. Don't forget, tomorrow night is PTK Live at the Marlowe's Lee Vista out by the airport. That new Rock and Brews right there. Marlowe's right behind it. A lot of fun. The menu's awesome, and it's the first time we're doing an a la carte menu. We're going to try this out. So basically, when you come out, each item will have a price and a paired beer or wine selection, which is kind of cool. And that way, you guys can pick and choose what you like and eat that. What I suggest is everybody get a little something and you guys share. That's the whole idea. You've been to a PTK Live, you know. And of course, tomorrow night we'll also have more prizes, cool stuff from the station, and lots of swag, all kinds of cool stuff. So I hope you'll join us tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. That's Marlowe's. Out at Lee Vista. We're going to record the show live there, so you can be part of the live audience and kind of see how we do it. It's a lot of fun, and everybody that goes has a good time, and it's also good value. We try to make it as affordable as possible. Speaking of affordable, tonight's dish is really affordable. Believe it or not, everybody almost has butter always in your pantry. We're halfway there. Pasta, dry pasta. Everybody has a little dry pasta in their pantry. You're halfway there again. You add cheese, chicken, and a little bit of heavy cream to this dish, and you are done. And then just start piling stuff on. We're going to put some green peas and mushrooms in ours. We're also going to add some tomato at the very end as well. Some fresh parsley. This is a piece of cake dish. And we sous vide our chicken tonight.
Yeah, we did.
We did something different. But before we get started doing anything, we always cheers. This has been a weird week already.
No, it has. It has. Cheers. Cheers. I'm doing one hand.
Here's to you, baby. Happy anniversary, by the way. Last week was our 12-year anniversary, so I appreciate everything you've ever done for me, and I hope I've returned it tenfold. But we're cheers tonight. The guys, Tom and Dan, are on an airplane right now. I think Daniel actually may be watching in the air. He was like taking questions, so it'd be cool if he was. Let's see what else. We have a bunch of events coming up in October, and this Saturday, we're going to be at the Bacon Brew Fest in DeLand. We have our tent set up. We're going to have our mini egg, courtesy of Wassie's Meats in Melbourne. We're going to cook some stuff up. It's going to be free. We're not charging for anything. We're just going to hand stuff out as we get it made. So
come on out.
We love to have you out.
Hey.
We're also going to have a bunch of merch and swag and stuff to give away. So we want to go out and say hey. We haven't been to Volusia County a little bit, so we want to go out and say hey. And this is a great event. A lot of people there last year, and it's free. You can come out and walk around.
And it's bacon.
Tasting tickets.
And it's beer.
Right, $15. You can't lose. It's bacon and beer, dude. How do you lose?
Right.
So, and then, like I said, check the ptkradio.com website for all the events that we have coming in October. I could never get to them all. October is going to be bananas.
It's going to be crazy.
What do you say we get started?
Hey, well, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Rome City IPA. This is from Brew Hub. We feature in Lakeland. We've actually featured one of their beers before, and I went back to these guys because the beer we had before is good. This is kind of a sessionable IPA. It's 5.8% alcohol. It's good. You know, it tastes like a sessionable IPA. It's a good quality, one of the best cans I've seen. I don't even know what that's all about. Stained glass, maybe? Rome City, stained glass?
Yeah, maybe
Tori is consuming a Crazy and Lazy, which is that peanut butter chocolate coffee porter thing from Tom and Dan.
I love it.
She loves it, and so let's get started.
Let's do it.
Let's go over to the sous vide machine real quick, because I want to tell people about this real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what the pros call the circulator. But this thing is actually really, really cool. So this is what you know as sous vide. This is just basically one of my stock pots. That is a vacuum sealed bag that you get the Alicio. I had it out here for a little bit. I'll show you a little bit.
It's in this drawer underneath you.
Yeah, and so you vacuum your chicken down. We have a little sherry wine, basil, chicken stock in our bag today. And basically, it brings the chicken up to the exact perfect cooking temperature. We have it set at 145 because we're going to sear this off a little bit before we put it on there. I just wanted to show you. This thing is like $99.
Yep,
okay? And if
that was a happy
right,
birthday gift.
That was that. So what I'm saying is this. You know, we hear about all these great methods in cooking and how people are doing some really cool stuff. This machine right here offers you a really neat opportunity to cook stuff while you're gone. It turns off on its own. Cook stuff for long periods of time to get perfect temperature. You know where this thing shines? Fish. People sometimes have a hard time cooking fish because they overcook it all the time. They're terrified to have a little bit of pink in the middle of a fish or a little bit. Man, this thing gets it perfect. So all you have to do is in a hot pan, get your color, and you're on. Perfect. Marinating, steaks, all that. Love this thing. It's the first time I've cooked on it in a while. I wanted to feature it tonight.
Super
Basically,
cool.
it just circulates the water through this element, and it looks great.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let that sous vide because, yeah. So we cook that. So we'll, like I said, we have our grill pan out tonight. We're gonna showcase our grill pan tonight too.
Brandon said, "My grandma never lets me watch, but she's at the store right now." Ha ha.
Is Brandy too young or something?
I don't know.
That's a little scary. All right. So let's go over the ingredients real quick. So as you can see down here, Tori, we have a bowl of these mixed tomatoes. You can get them at Publix, Whole Foods, Aldi, whatever.
Yeah.
We're going to cut these in half, add some color to our dish. Because if you see, we have a lot of green. We have some prosciutto, but when that cooks up, it's not going to really give us the color we want. Mushrooms are kind of a base. I like them for texture.
Yep.
And these beautiful organic green peas are going to give a sweetness, Tori, that is impossible to ignore. This is a really rich dish. The smoky prosciutto and the salty prosciutto with a little bit of fat is going to work perfect with the acid in the tomatoes and the sweetness from the peas. Again, we're looking for balance to balance act all that butter and cream and cheese we're going to get.
And we're making
Chicken Alfredo Carbonara.
And you're drinking
Rome City IPA from the guys out at Brew Hub in Lakeland. If you know these cats, let them know.
And I'm drinking
Crazy and Lazy from the guys over at Tom and Dan. That's Red Cypress Brewery, by the way. We love those guys as well. Out in Winter Springs. You can check them out.
Totally.
A lot of great brewers locally. A couple things, because we don't get to talk about a lot of stuff here. And this dish is not going to take that long. So I wanted to cover, so advertising. So we built an ad today. So if you guys think that there's a possibility that you know somebody or you have a business you think can kind of benefit from being on our show, we are really driving a lot of traffic. I'm asking guys over from Watsy. We're really creating a good buzz around some of these companies we're doing business with. And if you want to be a part of it, it's as affordable as it can ever be right now. You can come on board. Jan of Florida Fresh Meats, great guy, took advantage of it as well. The Oliver Brothers, awesome guys. OliverBrothers.com and real estate. Sous vide's done.
Hey.
So we'll just let that do it. What they'll do is they'll shut that down in 1 second.
So it'll just turn off.
It'll just turn right off.
And then, okay, so when it turns off, it will take the temperature down,
Yeah,
so it doesn't overcook.
It'll just shut it down. It can't overcook. You have to understand, that's the cool thing about sous vide.
Yep.
There is no overcooking. Once it gets the temperature total through to that temperature, it's perfectly cooked. All I'm doing with this thing is getting some color.
No. I was saying that it takes the temperature down so it doesn't continue to cook.
Because you can set a timer. You figure out by poundage. Like if I have a 3-pound roast in there, I have to cook it at 150 sous vide for 8 hours. So you put it on overnight, wake up,
and
you have your roast is perfectly
and
cooked.
It's amazing.
Right, and it is amazing. Ready to char off or whatever. Also, guys, before we get started, don't forget, if you don't mind, like and share the video throughout our cooking process. Let's get going.
Let's go.
Get this Alfredo. If you'll notice, Tori,
Yep.
and my mortar and pestle. Now, I don't have a grinder right now because Christmas is coming up, and you get your ass kicked around my house if you start buying stuff around Christmas. So what this is this is peppercorns. Yep. Now, I think one of the true stars in Alfredo is how much pepper you put in it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are like, oh, butter and cheese and cream. But man, I'm telling you, something magical happens to all that when great, freshly ground black pepper hits it.
Right.
So I did actually my mortar and pestle this time. I just ground it up. So I'm going to have some good chunks of heat in there. And it's going to be perfect. This is the third dish in a row we're cooking on this show. Are you ready? No onion.
What?
This
and
is
no
the
garlic,
third
right?
dish. No, a couple cloves of garlic.
Hell yeah.
Don't get crazy.
Brandon said that he's 26 and he's okay.
Oh, what do you mean he's 26 and he's okay?
He's 26. He's not too young.
Oh.
And Vicky wants to know what we're cooking again.
We're doing Alfredo Carbonara. Alfredo Carbonara. Now, the reason why this takes no time at all is because this sauce comes together fast. Remember last week when we did the whole thing? It was like boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, we have shrimp and grits.
Yep.
Same kind of thing here. So let's prep a little bit. And we'll talk. So we're gonna some mushrooms.
Yep.
And we're just gonna cut these probably about. And it's important though. I don't want them too thin because I don't want them to fall apart. I want them to have body.
What is that? A half inch?
3/16 of an inch across.
Oh my god.
So
let's do easy.
Sorry, so. And really, to be honest with you, a lot of guys
3/16.
quarter. The quarters are good too. And I'll mix it up a little bit. I'll do a quarter.
But it doesn't really cook as evenly though, right?
I kind of want that.
Okay.
And the reason why is because you want them kind of. You don't like mushroom.
I do not.
So you don't get an opinion here.
Well, it's not that I don't like mushroom. It's that you can't have mushrooms with bad thyroid.
Oh, you can't? Is that what you
You're
have?
not supposed to.
Really?
Yeah.
What
that
happens?
and like broccoli. I don't know. It's
will you turn into like a vampire or something?
Maybe.
Don't.
Watch it.
Don't.
Where do you get your passion? Wilson would like to know.
My passion?
Yeah, your passion for cooking.
The funny thing is, I'll tell you guys, be dead on. I had a weird day today. I'll be dead honest. It's just a weird time right now. So.
It is a weird time.
I was actually going to Facebook this out, but I ran into an issue over here because our stove lights went out. This is my place, like where I go when things aren't exactly the way I like them in life. And I never complain. I try not to complain about anything because we've been so fortunate to get a great job like this and have people who kind of care about what we say and stuff. So not to get too sappy, but when I do have a bad time, I find solace in this room. This is where I can come. I can kind of shut all the doors down, look in my fridge, see what I got, and just try to cook something and just kind of check out. This is my...
Adam said, dish it, buddy.
Right, yeah, no. This is my... I mean, if people have like a happy place, everybody's like, oh, this is my happy place. Would it be the beach with your feet up on it? This is like my happy place.
What's
this is
my
where I
happy
like being.
place?
What is your happy place?
See, isn't that sad?
Next to me. Next to me.
Yes, I have a bad thyroid, Steve. Hashimoto's is for real, Jen. You are correct, my dear.
Hashimoto's is for real.
It is for real.
Hashimoto's almost
What filters are we gonna... All right, let's try it again.
Ah.
Bad wireless connection. Thanks, Spectrum.
Yeah. So, chopping up our couple cloves of garlic here.
Yep.
And it's going to be a little different. Now, actually, in this dish, if you wanted to, you can just smash the hell out of this.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and just get it minced as much as I can, like up. Oh, by the way, big thanks to the guys at Wassey's Meats. They present this show, and they've been such a great partner, and they got their asses kicked during Hurricane Irma.
Yep.
They lost everything. So, guys, you want to support some unbelievable people. Big Green Eggs. They're the biggest dealer in Central Florida. They will deliver them every single Monday. So if you're in the mode to get one of those, we'll be doing one of these soon from the Big Green Egg as well. And I'm just telling you, you couldn't find a better family to support. So it's the Wassey's Meats, SWASSIS Meats, Melbourne, North Sun, or Wickham Road. We love those guys. Right next to the dog track. You can't miss them.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, we had like 100 people on. Now we only have 20 because Spectrum is really crappy service.
Yeah. We haven't been lucky with them, have we?
We have not. We need news service. Anybody have any recommendation?
Yeah. We haven't had a lot of luck with Spectrum. Hopefully it'll get better. We don't want to be those people. So, like we're going to say, like I said last week.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to prep everything as well as we can beforehand because, again, this comes together pretty quick. So, quickly, I should say. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a little bowl. We're going to shred our cheese. It's a big old brand new block of good old Publix Parmesan. Now, look, you can spend a lot of money on this kind of cheese. You really can. So I buy these products because I know this is like everyday Joe, Carbonara. You're going to be able to afford it, no problem. You don't have to spend like $30 on a block of Parmigiano Reggiano like this, and to be honest with you, it's a completely different flavor than this creamy, nutty Parmesan I have.
Okay.
And a lot of people do not like it, including my wife, Tori.
I do not.
She does not like that real salty, crusty Parmigiano Reggiano that is like kind of what a lot of these dishes are built on. We're going to get about a cup and a half.
Okay, I was about to ask how
about
much
a cup and a half. And it's like a cereal bowl, kind of about almost full, really, is about what it turns out to be. And let's face it, can you have enough?
You cannot have enough. You did get $159, buddy. You got $159 by crappy Spectrum service. Oh, I'm mad at him.
Peppers, I'm pepper crazy right now.
Mad at Spectrum.
Just bees and peppers. That's all it is right now. Bees and peppers.
Okay.
All right. So about a cup and a half of that.
Okay.
Now another thing too. So we talked about like portion control last week when it comes to eating here in America.
Mm-hmm.
So again, guys, this dish is only gonna make about a cup and a half of Alfredo sauce. Matter of fact, we have our first trivia question coming up in about a second regarding that.
They just joined. What are you making again?
Chicken Alfredo Carbonara. We're going to do some fresh English peas. We're going to do some mushrooms and tomato in there.
Yep.
And we have our sous vide chicken over here, sous vide crazy. And that basically is done and ready to go. We're just going to sear that off and put it right on the dish. So that's it. That's what we're doing tonight. Get our stock water going for I say stock water. Get our boiling pot going for our pasta.
Okay.
And we're going to go ahead and heat up our pan to get our Alfredo going. So this is prosciutto. You can use pancetta. You can use bacon.
All right.
I use prosciutto. Here's why.
Because you're trying to be fancy.
I'm trying to be fancy.
You ain't fancy.
Okay, this is saltier.
Okay.
So I like the salt.
Jimmy is drinking Rome City.
Yeah, Rome City out of Brew Hub.
Yep.
In Lakeland. So we featured their beers before. We like them. So prosciutto, just cured Italian ham, basically bacon.
Okay.
So look, any pork really will go well in this. You can even put pork belly in this if you have some left over. That's another great thing about Alfredo. This is a clean the fridge kind of dish, man. You can put all. It's a cheese sauce, guys. So throw whatever you like in there. Asparagus tips.
Yep.
And you can do whatever you want. Tofu, shrimp.
Tofu.
Leftover chicken that you want to just grind. This is a really good consumer of like all those leftovers. So
Daniel Dennis.
is he on an airplane?
Boy, do we have a story for you, buddy. Yeah, he's on an airplane. Are you on an airplane, Dan? He'll talk. So a sous vide machine is, Jimmy?
Sous vide means under vacuum, I believe. So basically, it is a circulator that makes a bath of water that is 145 degrees.
Yep.
And the reason it's 145 degrees is because the perfect internal cook temperature for a chicken breast, I believe, is around 155, 160.
Okay.
We cook it sous vide almost done so that when we sear it off, it brings it right up to temperature and it's perfectly cooked, perfectly juicy. And I only have 2 chicken breasts. This sous vide right here, this will cook. I could do 8 like this.
Okay.
You could do a brisket in that thing. You could do a corned beef brisket in that thing if you wanted to. And the cool thing is, go to bed, wake up. There's no harm of it, like overcooking or whatever.
Because it just shuts off.
It just shuts off.
Cool.
And nothing's gonna hurt it. So you're good.
There you go, guys. He just landed. Daniel just landed.
Just landed?
Yeah.
So here's what we have: half a cup of butter.
Yep.
Okay. Half a cup of butter. Now. So you get your normal sticks of butter. I kind of use good butter, guys. I'm a bit of a butter snob.
Butter. Do you use salted or unsalted?
This is unsalted.
Okay. Why?
Well, I like to bring things up to salt myself. I don't want them to do it. And a lot of times when you start cooking and you really want to do some cool stuff, you'll find that you are salt and peppering stuff like toward the end of it.
Yep.
And if you have salted butter, and you forget, and
it's too much.
Right, yeah, it just oversalts your dish. I just find it's just better like that, so that's what I do.
Rocky said that he sous vide chicken thighs. He couldn't sleep.
He couldn't stand it.
He couldn't sleep that night.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either, but hey.
But that's a great idea. And I think chicken thigh, I've said it before, I'll say it one time, I'll say it 1,000,000,000 times, one of the most underrated pieces of meat you can get. It's like a big old chicken, really drumstick, dark meat, and it's got that giant flap of skin.
You know who else likes dark meat?
I don't know what you're talking about like that.
This girl.
Why, dude? Why? It's a cooking show. Why would you do that?
Well, Irish butter, they have a question mark about that.
Yeah, Irish butter.
I don't know.
It's just good quality butter.
Okay.
I think I actually want a little bit more.
I'll believe you.
So half a cup of butter, I think, is a stick.
Okay.
I think it's not like that, a stick.
So do we want to do our first...
Our first trivia?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Yes.
How many calories?
Ugh.
How many calories in 1 cup of traditional Alfredo sauce?
Okay, guys, the first person that answers, I'll send you a coffee mug or a tumbler. And I'll have to go back and I'll have to check who the first person that answers because this thing goes too fast.
First person that can tell me how many calories, and it's, let's just say, it is going to be a little shocking. The positive is this, Tori, is you really don't eat a lot of it. Now, if you sit there and have a spoon and you eat it like a bowl of cereal, or you just ladle it in breadsticks, it's going to kill you eventually. But the cool thing is this, is you're really just tossing your pasta with the sauce to kind of coat it a little bit because it's so rich and creamy, you really don't need a lot. Turns out to be a couple tablespoons.
Right.
So believe it or not, a cup and a half of this sauce goes a long way.
Very cool. Okay. Well, I think we have a bunch of answers, so
Okay.
and I think I saw the correct one.
Oh, did you really?
So I'll surprise them. I'll surprise you in your inbox.
All right. So we already have and so we're almost melted.
Yep.
All right. We're gonna add our cream. It's a cup of cream.
Man. Fat ass.
Okay.
Okay.
Cup of cream.
Yep.
Now think of the liquid we have in here.
Okay.
So we have a cup of cream and about a half a cup of butter.
Okay.
All right.
Butter.
So we only have
Irish butter.
We have a cup and a half of product. We're gonna add some cheese, but that's really, as far as volume goes, it's not really gonna increase it a bunch.
Okay.
So you can see we're really not gonna have like a lot of stuff. And believe it or not, the garlic is going in the sauce, not in the saute, for all the stuff to come together.
And the saute.
And the saute. And the cool thing is, we're gonna get the sauce going, and we can set it off to the side because
I am gonna slide into your DMs, Adam. Up.
Okay. It's gone too far. Fresh cracked pepper.
Okay.
Look at that. How much I got on there.
Look at that.
Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and put our garlic in there. We're gonna simmer this around. We're gonna let this just kind of simmer a little bit. Bring it up. We're gonna bring that up to the simmer. And while that's doing that,
Okay.
slide over here. We'll slide right back over there.
All right.
And I can take
Don't tell me what to do.
So we did reserve probably about a teaspoon of this garlic. We will add it to our pan. So the thing with these dishes, and if you watch Italian restaurants, you'll see this. It's kind of cool. The kitchens are great. Pay attention to this kind of stuff. As you start to learn about it, it's kind of interesting. If you go to an open kitchen Italian restaurant, like our friends up at Francesco's here in Maitland, or even with Macaroni Grill back in there, you can see this. They have like a stack of frying pans.
Yep.
10-inch frying pans, because every single order, the way that food is designed is frying pan hot, oil in, garlic, toss, peas, toss, mushrooms for a minute, tomatoes in, toss,
Yep.
couple tablespoons of the sauce onto the plate. It goes very fast. That's one of the other reasons we like featuring dishes like this. This is really not a weekly dish because it does have a lot of calories.
Yeah.
But this is also one of those dishes that you can take and make for company, and it's like no one's not going to like it. It's basically adult macaroni and cheese at the highest level, so you're going to like it.
So Charlie wants to know why not white pepper?
All right.
Racist.
No, you know why? Why do you think he said that?
I don't know why.
And by the way,
I thought he was being funny.
white pepper has a totally different flavor, but a lot of people do use white pepper in Alfredo because they don't like seeing the black specks in the sauce. They like the sauce to be nice and creamy and white all the way through because he's an Aryan. No, I'm just joking.
Like and share us, guys. We got cut off on our last one. Oh, and Vreeland said, that's an odd name. Vreeland, Vreeland, said black pepper matters.
Black pepper does matter. Oh, it feels weird when I say that.
It should.
Doesn't it?
All right, what are you doing?
We're going to just quarter up these tomatoes there because... And guys, again, these tomatoes are for color and a little bit of acid. We're going to add them at the very end of this dish because we want it to kind of showcase. Look at the green we have. I mean, if you set those two dishes together, just those two things right there together,
Look how pretty.
it gives you this beautiful palette of color that, we love to have.
Yeah.
The reason I choose these mixed ones, because look, man, look how great that looks. A little plum color, some beautiful yellow, almost into orange. Look at this little orange jewel right here.
So,
Look at those. Those are awesome.
Those are beautiful.
Kind of golden.
Did
Those
you
are great.
tell everybody how many calories are in 1 cup of Alfredo?
1,000.
Oh my god.
1,000
I
calories.
think Marissa got it, but I'm not sure. I have to go back and double check.
Tori, come and smell this real quick.
I smell it right here.
As this garlic starts to sweat and this cream and this butter, smell that.
Butter.
How great is that?
Oh yeah, that
So
smells
we're
really
going to bring that up just so you can see how nice and hot. And remember with the grits last week, we started kind of getting that little bubble, I got to say, out because our oven lights are off because we're so ghetto.
We're not ghetto.
We're not bougie, that's one thing.
We aren't bougie, but we aren't ghetto, baby.
All
We're
right.
right there in the middle.
All right, that's fine. That's where I like to be. So that'll start breaking the surface here in a second. Our pan's already hot because it's going to come together. And we buy this pasta. We like this buitoni.
Boutoni, get your ass in the house.
I think it's buitoni or whatever.
Whatever.
Buitoni. It cooks fast.
Yeah.
Like 2 minutes, it's done. So we love that because we can kind of get to it. I hate boiling pasta. Ugh, it just drives me crazy. So we want to eat, and we're hungry now.
We are hungry. I ate a salad for lunch today because I knew I was going to eat like a fat girl tonight.
Fat girl probs. Hashtag fat girl probs. So
Man, what are you doing
So
down
sorry,
there?
I didn't want to do that.
You're supposed to prepare for this.
I know. I totally forgot.
Jess, it's not frozen, honey. You have to redo your app or whatever.
What happened?
I don't know. Her thing's freezing. This time it's not Spectrum's fault.
Oh, it's about time.
What are you doing?
This is parsley. Now I actually like flat leaf parsley. This is that curly like Italian parsley, but man. So I was talking to Kathleen Blake,
Yep.
who owns Rusty Spoon, downtown Orlando, which is an absolute must if you're in Orlando. And her deviled eggs and her salads are like literally the best in the city.
Yep.
And everybody can. And Kathleen is just a sweet girl. And so we were talking during one of the segments, and I looked at her and I said, like, what do you think is like the most underrated herb? Like, you look at it and you're like, man, I find myself not being able to do without it. She looks at me and she goes, man, I don't understand how anybody cooks without parsley. Because it has this beautiful, earthy, kind of almost pasture-like vibe about it. And it is amazing what happens when you bite into a piece of it with other flavors blended together. So we're going to use a little bit actually in our sauce. We're also going to kind of decorate or garnish a little bit with it as well. So we're actually almost ready to go and start adding our cheese to it. You want to come over?
I'm coming. Somebody's working in the boondocks of Mississippi.
How's that?
Well, that's where he's working, baby.
Look at that. So we see our simmer starting to break up a little bit?
Oh, yeah. There it is.
A little bit. So we're going to add a little bit of our cheese. This is freshly grated Parmesan Reggiano.
Okay. And you just do a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
It's like when you're baking and you only put a little bit of flour in it.
Remember last week when we incorporated our grits little by little?
Yeah.
Because we want this cheese. Parmesan, as a rule, is not a good melting cheese. It's a little coarse. You know, a lot of people will be like, yeah.
It's a little rubbery, right?
It's kind of a weird thing. It doesn't melt. If you'll notice, I'll pull see it's sticking on there. It's kind of stringy.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the other cheeses, like, you know, your Gruyere and even Swiss and, you know, aged cheddar and stuff like that, of course you don't use that in this kind of dish. But even with, what's that other one that's really stink? I mean...
It starts with an F.
Oh, yeah, like Fontina.
Yeah.
And there's another one, too, but it's...
funky.
It is a little funky. So we're going to go ahead and add the rest.
Yep.
And if we have to add a little bit more cheese to get this sauce up to the thickness we like, we will. And we do want to simmer this. You know, a lot of people are like, no, don't boil it, keep it moving. You can simmer the sauce. That's how we kind of get our thickness in there. And we had our temperature right because, look, Tori, it's not sticking in my whisk. What happens is this, and this is important with this sauce. If you don't get your cream and butter mixture up to heat, where it's at that level, right at that simmer thing, and you start adding your cheese early, it's going to clump on you.
Yep.
And even if you take well-heated sauce and you throw all your cheese in at one time, you gotta remember that cheese is cold, man. It's been in the fridge. And it hits that sauce, it's actually going to lower the temperature of the sauce. And then, again, you get that clumping, and it's kind of hard. I just find it easier to take care of that right up front, right?
Right.
So we're going to go ahead and turn our sous vide off. So we know we have done. So this sauce already, let me do a little taster, baby, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I think we're pretty close already. That sauce is kind of easy. Let's start. God, that garlic is so good. A little bit of salt. And I am going to put a little bit more cheese in.
Vreeland wants to know, how do you keep it from getting grainy?
Well, and that's what we were saying a minute ago is, you know, this cheese, again, according to what kind of cheese you buy, and that's why I buy this regular old Publix cheese, is I find that really good Parmesan Reggiano, it's kind of hard.
It doesn't have enough like oil or fat
it doesn't.
in it, right?
It doesn't have enough. There's something weird about it where it is hard. It is a little grainy. If you even go to the Olive Garden, and they're actually kind of famous for their Alfredo sauce because believe it or not, it's pretty darn good, right?
Yeah.
It even has like a weird little grain in there.
It does.
That's why a lot of guys will use some Parmesan because it's great, salty, nutty.
Yeah.
You can't mistake it. But they'll use another cheese to get that creamy, you know, really creamy texture. So we're going to let that come right on up. Okay.
Matt says he has the lump problems too. Everybody loves the Fontina cheese.
Yeah.
Mark said that you double dipped.
I may have. It's my sauce. I may have. My sauce, bro. I can double dip it and do whatever I want.
Dwayne says you need a cheese that melts well.
Mm-hmm.
Hard parmy don't melt.
Hard parm doesn't melt. So we have our nice hot pan here. We're going to do our... we're actually going to go ahead and do our mushroom store.
Okay. I'm going to come over here while you're doing that. I'm going to grab my lazy and crazy beer. My porter.
Now, I use butter for this, but you can use, and actually I will, a little bit of olive oil
okay.
on top of that. And again, with mushrooms, let them take their time.
So why did you do that? So you put butter in there, but then why'd you add olive oil?
Well, butter's for flavor. Olive oil is for the body, so it's able to saute. These mushrooms soak up a lot of. Look at it already. Look how dry that pan is.
Yep.
I just put a really, like probably 2 tablespoons or so more butter and another tablespoon of olive oil, and it's gone. Now, a lot of people will do this. They'll see this like, oh my gosh, it soaked up all my oil and stuff. Yes, it did. It did soak it up. Don't add any more, guys. Don't. It's actually going to sweat it right back out. And you're going to see in a minute, as these mushrooms start to cook, that liquid's going to start coming back out, and part of that liquid is the butter and the oil.
That's why I don't like mushrooms. I'm sweaty.
Tori.
I'm kidding. I like mushrooms.
You're so ridiculous.
I am. I'm a little ridiculous.
So I'm trying to get this. I'm going to get this Alfredo up to that simmer we want. Now, another thing too is you can't turn this stuff on high temperature and go, well, I'll just turn it up high and I'll simmer it that way. You gotta let this stuff come up to heat, guys, because it will burn. Now that cheese will settle to the bottom, that Parmesan will burn so fast, and you'll be so pissed off because everything else is ready to go, and there you are with your burnt Alfredo sauce.
Yep.
So we're gonna keep it moving around a little bit. I did turn it up to about 6, and it will take its time. It will simmer for me, and it'll be ready about the time we get ready.
Okay.
Mushrooms a little bit. Don't forget, guys, like and share if you like the show. We appreciate it very much. We're sous videing our chicken tonight.
We did sous vide. Here, I'll walk over there and show everybody that just joined. Yeah, the crazy and the lazy, it's Daniel's. The lazy and crazy is the IPA, that's TC's.
Yes, exactly. So this is
you see our temperature going down. Our water temperature is going down.
You can see it's done.
Look at that fanciness.
And that's the marinade, so don't think that's... And believe it or not, that's fully cooked. That's basil sherry wine and a little bit of chicken stock.
You just like saying sherry because that was your first girlfriend's thing.
Oh, look, really good. Look at that mushroom right there. See what I'm saying by sweating? Look at exactly what it's doing right there.
It's sweating.
Yeah, it's sweating. So all that's coming right back out, and we're going to be able to use that.
Okay, Matt says, can you repeat how hot the cream and the butter has to be before you add the cheese?
Okay, so what I say, there's not a, I can't say it's on 5 because all ovens are different.
Right.
So I put my cream and my butter in, and I bring it up to heat.
Yep.
So it's just at that point where it's starting to simmer, like where it's just going to start breaking, or you can just see it getting real smoky. Then start adding your cheese little by little. Don't throw it all in there at one time, and definitely grate it as finely as you can because it'll help it melt a lot better.
Okay.
And you can see we're already starting to get some body, and I'll show you how. Lori, last time you did that.
I'm shaking the mushrooms. Hold on. I know what I'm doing here. I don't cook any. Actually, I do. What do I cook, babe?
The books. Oh.
I can do that. I've showed you guys in the past.
Yeah, right. And it wound up on your foot and burned a hole in your toe. Right.
But I held that camera.
You cannot do it. That's the truth. You cannot do it.
Oh, who's the little begging buddy over there? That
Oh, look.
is our Maisie.
Look. Look at my bubbles. See them?
Yeah.
Looks like grits.
It does look like
That's what I want. We're just going to keep this moving around a little bit.
Yep.
We don't have to do a lot of it. Just now that we have a good boil, you want to pay attention to that. So you have your good temperature's perfect. This is going good. We got our mushrooms sauteing it real nice. Look at our brown. We get on those mushrooms right there. Look.
Mark said, I dated a Sherry from Palatka too.
Oh, that's great. So we have this. So we're going to do a garlic in.
Yep.
Why are you being an asshole?
Stop cursing like this. We have Brandon on here.
Brandon's 30 years old. He's fine.
Grandma.
He's going to be fine. We're going to do a little salt, a little early salt. Also, that little salt on the mushrooms now will help extract a lot more of that liquid so we know where we are. Okay. And it doesn't surprise us a little bit later.
Well, you're talking a lot. I can't ask you questions.
Okay.
Why use butter and cream? Doesn't cream have enough butter in it?
Cream is heavy in butter fat. You're right. But the cream and the butter together are what provide the ability to melt the cheese in it.
Okay.
Like when you make a bechamel, which is basically a white gravy.
Garlic.
I know. Which is basically a white gravy. That's what you're doing. You're just building something to hold the melted cheese. Like when you make your cheese sauce. All cheese sauces.
Oh, say it again. Do it one more time. You could be a rapper. Cheese sauces. Do it.
All cheese sauces kind of start the same. Seemingly, it's pretty easy when you're just going to look at it like that.
Amanda, nothing does smell better than garlic and mushrooms. I am smelling it right now.
Okay, watch something real quick. I want to show you.
Okay.
So earlier when I was stirring that, as I moved around, you could tell that it was still a little thin, right? Watch. Now watch when I stir now. See how you can see through the almost through the bottom of the pan as I squirt. You can kind of.
Oh yeah.
See it right there when I did that? You can see that's showing me that that sauce is thickening up exactly how I want. Just cooking a little water out of the cream.
Yep.
All right. So
Gilbert just joined and wants to know what we're making.
we're making chicken Alfredo Carbonara.
Okay.
We're gonna have some fresh, some great mushrooms. We're gonna have some English peas, which we're gonna put in right now. So we have our prosciutto. Now again, this is just something I'm making. This can be cheddar.
Yep.
This could be just
Bacon?
regular old bacon, man. Just bacon. This is just going to add a really nice, salty, kind of pork elements, a little bit of smoke in there to our sauce, which is going to be great. And our sauce is done.
Okay, Matthew said, quick question. I tell my wife all the time not to stir a metal pan on top of our glass top. I see Jim is. Am I wrong? Just asking because I can't read all that. Your question got cut off, Matt.
That is directly related to how much you enjoy your brand new stove.
Well, our stove is horribly scratched up. Let me see if I can show you.
That's one of them.
It is, and that is from the cast iron skillet. Yeah. Hey, Alex. Bacon does make the world go round.
Yep.
And we're gonna go to Bacon Brew in DeLand this weekend.
We are. So we can set our sauce as good. We can put it on the warming zone.
Okay.
Which is on there. We're gonna put our grill pan here.
I didn't even know we had that.
All right. That's all. We're gonna add our English peas to our.
Oh my god. Yeah. Tim, I'm not showing myself, buddy. Today was No Makeup Tuesday.
I thought that was Thursday.
It's No Makeup Thursday too.
Oh, no, it is. Yeah. Started just incorporating that into the rest of the things here.
I'm kind of letting myself go, babe.
Now this doesn't look like much now. Just looks like a big old pan with a bunch of mushrooms and peas and whatnot. But I promise you in a second it's gonna be pretty good.
Oh, Lisa wants to know if you were using bacon instead of prosciutto, would she need to cook it first? Or
I would, yeah. Just cook it for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
you can also use just smoked ham. If you wanted to go just get high quality like smoked ham lunch meat.
Yep.
Not like maple or anything like that. Just shave it real nice.
Okay.
Again, any smoky, salty pork is going to do there.
And Vreeland wants to know if you can recommend any type of chef's knives or what type do you use?
So we use Shun because the guys over at Wassie's are Shun dealers. But this is like one of my first knives. This is a Hinkle.
Yeah.
I got this at Bed Bath & Beyond. I think I paid $60 for it. You can see it's still on my block.
Oh, wait.
Still on my block. So Wusthof is another good company. But I like these Shun knives. They stay really nice and sharp. And that's half the battle with knives, just getting a metal that stays sharp. If you remember like a couple weeks ago, we did that thing where you could hear the different sounds in the metal, right?
Yeah.
Like even now, while we wait, I'll just show you real quick.
You didn't notice Chef Jimmy's eyeshadow, for sure.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so listen.
Yeah. Oh.
Hear that when I sharpen that? Or what, it's not sharpening when I straighten that steel? No, listen. Listen. Now listen to this one. Hear the difference?
Yeah.
Different metal, man. So the metal here is different. It's at layered. You can see the layers, and it's hand hammered.
Yep.
So that actually is able to keep the edge a little sharper for a little bit longer time.
Okay.
It's a little bit more versatile.
So, Alex, I am drinking Crazy and Lazy, which is a Tom and Dan beer. It's their porter. It's delicious. It's coffee and dark chocolate and peanut butter. And Jimmy is drinking the Brew Hub Rome City IPA. Mm-hmm. That's in Leesburg? Lakeland.
Yep,
Lakeland.
Absolutely.
Do you want me to stay over here?
Yeah, stay right here for a second.
Okay.
We're actually at a point now where we can kind of get ready because we're almost ready to plate, believe it or not. Because once I pull these chicken breasts out of the sous vide, we're going to dip that pasta, we're going to be gone. So our sous vide chicken.
Oh, Sue said a little cream cheese stabilizes the Alfredo.
Cream cheese, and people do use cream cheese. I don't like it in mine, but I know people do. Well, like one of the classic versions is, I think it's half cream cheese, half parm.
Okay.
Like when you make it. You can do that for sure. It's super creamy though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thanks, Vreeland. Okay, so what'd you do?
This is our sous vide chicken breast, and they're a little warm, so I'm going to dig them out with some tongs.
You usually burn yourself. You're not burning yourself today?
I've been doing great, man.
So good. I love you.
So, let me get this old basil out of there. We don't need that. That was just for flavor. That's cooked perfectly, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Don't need to do anything else.
I can smell that basil, boy.
You could literally put that right on there right now, and even though it looks pink like that, it's done.
Pete, he did do meat and potatoes. He actually did steak and potatoes, and I think that was like episode 9. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can pull it up.
You sure can.
Mascarpone, Italian cream cheese, yum.
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, we have mascarpone.
Yeah, mascarpone is great. Mascarpone was the cheese that was in that crazy crepe that we had up in Washington.
Oh yeah, it was so good.
So good. It really was incredibly good.
Let's see. Oh, what? Bruce wants to know what the beer is going to be at the Second Harvest dinner.
Well, to be honest with you, it's going to be a mixture of things. Believe it or not, our friends over at Quantum Leap Winery, Jill, who is just like the sweetest person, she is doing wine pairings. We're also going to do a cocktail for the reception, and we're going to pair that up with Chef Teleluna's Mexican shrimp cocktail.
Yep.
And he's also going to do a little cucumber cup with some smoked salmon. We're going to have something that'll go with that, and then wine pairings throughout the meal, and then I think one of them is going to be a beer pairing. And man, it'd be great to see a lot of you guys out there for that event. That event's special. That's October 18th.
You guys have to come out.
Believe it or not, that's a big deal to even be asked to do it, and I was completely humbled. And I got to send a big thank out to Chef Bruno Fonseca at Millennium 106. By the way, if you have not been to that restaurant, go to it. Please go to it. It's incredibly good. Also, Brian Thoman from Canvas, Lake Nona, who is also a baller and a great guy.
So good.
And our old buddy, Chef Tellaluna,
Yep.
out at Rosen Harry's Poolside Bar and Grill, where we will be in a couple weeks, right? Actually, 2 days after that. He's doing appetizers and dessert for us. I'm featuring with my smoked Gouda risotto.
So you're going to be cooking for everyone?
Yeah, I am cooking. Smoked Gouda risotto, my braised short rib, and our honey crisp carrots. That's on the menu from me. Beef cheek tamale from Brian Thoman.
Well, look at you.
Mahi, are you ready?
Yeah.
A mahi crudo, which is basically kind of like a ceviche.
Yeah.
But the mahi's cured in coconut milk and a bunch of other. I mean, that menu is crazy. Look, when Heather said the menu is impressive, I was happy.
That is awesome. We're so excited.
We are really.
We have been planning this thing, and I was talking to Heather today about the centerpieces on the table, which is going to be take-home gifts for everyone. So that's going to be pretty exciting.
It is going to be great, man. I honestly, I can't wait.
And it's for charity, and it's for
Yeah.
a great cause. They have a really good story, and it's just it's humbling.
Like,
for
yeah,
sure.
the food bank is something that, like, I mean, if you're into this kind of stuff, I would never say you should do it. I'm not a preacher like that. But the food bank Second Harvest is like one of those real gems of Orlando. Just so you know, I think it's the 12th biggest food bank in the U.S.
Yes, it is, and the number one in Florida.
The biggest in Florida.
Yep.
And what it does is it takes in goods and then distributes and actually gives food and products to other food banks. So.
Yep.
I know that Mount Dora has one, Lake County, the Lake County Pantry out there has one, and there's all of downtown, and a lot of that comes from Second Harvest. And in the meantime, they're teaching people how to cook and work in the food industry. Matter of fact, that night we're going to have like 15 guys or people who are in the program, and they're going to be helping us plate and set up, so we can't wait for that.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
even have like warehouse programs where you can learn how to drive a forklift and learn about logistics and stuff like that. It is.
So Lisa, if you want to know how to join the fundraiser, if you go to our events section on PrimeTime Kitchen on Facebook or ptkradio.com, there's a link there. It'll take you straight to where you can sign up and buy your tickets and everything.
Yep.
It's a certain number of seats. It's 80 to 100.
Yep.
So once they're done, they're done.
Yep.
And that's on October 18th. So I would advise you guys grabbing those tickets quickly.
Be good to see you there for sure. Also, if you have like a beer or wine and you guys are one of the local breweries or you have a connection with one of the local breweries, tell them that we'll feature it. We'd love to feature some of these great breweries in the city.
Yep.
You just gotta let me know. We'd like to have it. You can give us just one if you want. We don't care, but yeah, that'd be great.
Cool.
All right, let's mark these rest of it. What do you say?
Matt says, please say hi to my wife, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
We're in Houston. Her cancer treatments, but from Daytona. Matt, tell Kathy we said hey.
Yeah, really, man. Get well.
Wow, yeah,
We don't
for
have to deal
sure.
with that. Here we are cooking, and you're dealing with a real situation like that. So
What's this?
that is an Emerald Lagasse.
No, I don't think this is.
It is for sure.
It is?
That's what that is. That's an E. Yeah, all that enameled ironware that you got me is emerald.
Is it really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, look at me. I was buying fancy stuff and
So-
didn't even know it.
This is our grill pan. Now, usually I would have set this top on there and let it get pretty hot, and I
Yep.
could grill on top. But as you can see, we have our ridges there. And even though it's only been on a few seconds, you can already see, look,
Like ruffles?
getting some marks, right? Yeah, ridges, like ruffles, you're right.
Does this need to be on?
All right. Yeah, no, that's good.
Okay.
Get that going again. This prosciutto. How do you not like that, Tori?
What are you talking about? I love it. Why do you always make me look like I'm... Matt said thanks, everybody. Good luck, Kathy.
Yeah, really.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So, let's go and get this done. Turn this
When
back
do you
on.
put the tomatoes in?
Here in a second.
Okay.
We actually make right at the very end.
Okay.
So we have our sauce. This is Alfredo.
Yep.
Easy. It's cream butter and cheese, man. Can't lose.
Yeah, but it's not that simple. You made it look simple, but it's not.
No, it is. I mean, it is if you just take your time. We'll have this recipe up tomorrow.
Okay.
We're gonna turn these. Look at that great color we have. Good marking. Remember, these chicken breasts are cooked through, courtesy of our sous vide. So we're just putting color on them to get some good marks. And when we cut them across,
Okay.
we feature our plate. We're gonna do that. So we're gonna get this dish back up. This is green peas, mushroom, prosciutto. All right, that's it.
What is carbonara? Justin wants to know.
Carbonara is like the pork. The stereotypical carbonara dish is pasta, an egg, cheese, bacon, black pepper, green peas. That's like the carbonara. If you go to Italy and you get it, that's what you're going to get with fresh pasta. Super simple. And even Alfredo, if you order it in a restaurant in Italy, a bowl of pasta, they crack an egg on top of it, they shave cheese into it, salt, and they toss it, and that's it. I mean, that's the dish. This is an Americanized version of
Shane
Alfredo.
wants to know where the breadsticks are.
Oh, yeah, right. They're at Olive Garden.
He's asked a couple times. I've ignored it. There you go, Shane.
Pasta in. And this is that pasta that cooks in like 2 minutes.
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and let that cook for a second.
Okay.
Don't burn your chicken.
I'm not. So here's the sauce. I wish
Sauce is
our
done.
lights were working properly. That's okay.
So we're going to throw our tomatoes in.
And you wait to throw the tomatoes in. Why?
Yeah, because the tomatoes will break down.
Oh, okay.
You don't want the tomatoes in too early because the tomatoes will break down. But look at that great color we have. And what we're going to do is we're really just going to warm this through. Look at that. I mean, you could serve that just like that, and it would be a great dish.
Marissa said that she had carbonara in St. Martin, and there was a raw egg on top, and she almost threw up.
Dude, that's you should be happy.
She said it was still in the shell.
That's the whole thing is, dude. You crack it, you toss it, and you're done. That's really traditional thing there. Okay, so
Yeah, that looks great.
so this is done.
Okay. Check out those marks.
So we'll put those right on our cooking board.
Okay.
Very good. Get this out here.
Kathy said that looks amazing.
It's gonna be great. I think everybody's gonna be super happy about it. And we're gonna add a little sauce to this in a second. We're gonna toss our pasta in it, and we're all done.
All right, Amanda, I think you just answered your question. She said, are you a finish of pasta type toss in the pan or sauce on top?
So, I have lately loved it in the pan
Okay.
because I think that's like the way it should be. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our pasta on top, cream. We're gonna toss this entire thing, and we're gonna twist it right on into our bowl. We're gonna hit it with some parsley, and we're done.
Cool.
Now we've taken a little bit of time. It's 7:52. We got started a little bit late. We had a crap out. We've been talking a lot. I could have made this dish in 30 minutes, just like the dish last week.
Right.
Believe it or not, this does come together pretty quickly. The bad thing about Alfredo is it does not heat. So make enough just to cook and call it good there.
Okay.
We're done there.
Cool. Tim said there's a lot of dishes. There are, Tim.
Well,
Not too bad.
because we're trying to do the technique thing, guys, so we can show you everything how we do everything.
Yeah.
Oh, Corey.
Yeah.
Corey hyper cleaned the kitchen this week, and she thinks it can't be used again for another 6 years.
I just don't want you deep frying in it. It smells like I don't know what.
Why do you try to convince people that all I do is deep fry?
You too, babe. Where'd you go eat lunch yesterday? Where'd you go? Where'd you go eat?
Can I tell you something? As your husband, you have to stop doing that.
But where'd you go eat? Just yesterday. It's not like I said last week.
Baby, I told you why I went there. It was just a little snack time. I hadn't eaten, and I was getting a little hangry, and I was feeling bad. So, when I feel bad, it's Popeye's time.
You love some damn Popeyes.
When I feel bad, it's Popeye's time. Don't run water on that.
Why not?
Because it takes all that great gluten and all those starches away from it. That's what makes our pasta stick to our...
Okay.
All right, so sauce in. We'll see. Well, I'm going to do a little bit. We're going to save some for the plate.
Okay.
All right.
Look at that.
Pasta in.
Kind of. Look at that. There we go. Kendall loves some Popeyes too.
Yeah, who doesn't? It's Popeye. Should be a bigger pan.
It's okay. Nobody's judgy right now.
Okay, now.
Okay, hold on.
I'm going to take some time. Now, this looks like, when you look at it, you're like, wow, that looks like a mess. But here's how we're going to put it together so it doesn't look like a mess.
This does not look like a mess. This looks delicious. Let's do this. You cutting the chicken?
Mm-hmm. People are going to freak because it's like, oh, that's pink. It's not done. Oh, man. Is it done? And is it?
Kathy wants to know if you saved the pasta water. Kathy, that's weird.
Yeah, no, you do. That's the thing. You save a little bit of pasta water. Because it has that starch in it.
What do you do with it?
Huh?
What do you do with the saved pasta water?
You put it in the sauce usually.
Oh.
Because it's got that flour in there. You're thicking it up.
Okay.
So.
Steph, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is PrimeTime Kitchen, or you can go to PTK radio.com and you can get all of our past shows. And I think our past shows are in our Facebook feed as well. You just got to look for them. Darcy said, your pan hanging off the edge is making her quite nervous.
I don't care. All right. Fresh pasta. And then here I'm going to do is this.
You gonna put a little bit on top?
A little on the chicken, baby.
There we go. Look at that, guys. There you go.
So
what do we have here?
what we have here is, this is chicken Alfredo carbonara. That is basically pasta and Alfredo sauce, which is cream butter and Parmesan cheese.
Yep.
We use prosciutto, English peas to give some sweet, tomatoes for a little bit of acid and brightness, and a little bit of fresh parsley for that nice earthy herb, and some mushrooms. Gotta have mushrooms when you do Alfredo, in my opinion.
It's meaty,
some
right?
nice cracked black pepper, which we'd actually put a little bit more on top of there, to kind of a little bit of garnish of black pepper. And that's great. And the good thing about that dish is it's very filling,
Yep.
and it's something you can make for a group of people. Nobody's not gonna like it.
Yep.
It goes great with a good glass of wine, like Pinot Gris, or maybe even some oh god, what's the one? Oh gosh, I'm not gonna be able to think of the name of it now.
Okay.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
Well, nice for that, and it'll be really good. Goes good with beer too, because that's what I'm about to drink it with, some beer.
Yeah.
So, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is episode 18. Tonight we did chicken carbonara Alfredo, or chicken Alfredo carbonara. We will put the recipe up soon. Don't forget, like and share for us if you don't mind. If you enjoyed the show tonight, we appreciate it. PTKradio.com has all of our past shows. So if you're new to the program, we appreciate that. Also, the trivia question winner will be getting with you soon.
Yeah.
And appreciate you guys tuning in for that very much. Don't forget, we do have events coming up. Tomorrow night is PTK Live at Marlowe's Lee Vista. Going to be a great time. Got a ton of good stuff to give away, plus games and great food from the chefs over there, which we really appreciate. Joel's the man.
Well, it's always super fun to come out at
it's a
PTK
blast.
Live.
And then Saturday we have DeLand. We're going to be at the Beer and Bacon Brew Fest, or Bacon and Brew Fest. DeLand, which is baconbrewfestdeland.com. Free event, $15 tasting tickets, $50 VIP. We're going to be set up right next to Norwoods, just giving out stuff, hanging out, talking. So if you want to come by and do that, we're going to be just chilling. We'd love to see you there. And check out the events calendar for October. A lot of stuff coming up in October as well. As always, tune in to PrimeTime Kitchen on Real Radio 104.1 at 8 o'clock. Replayed Sunday mornings at 8 as well. We do a bonus show at 7. Also, I'm every day on the Monsters of the Morning. If you want to hear my ridiculousness, we can do that as well. And please, again, like and share, guys. We really appreciate it. Thanks to our sponsors, Wassey's Meats, Oliver Brothers Real Estate, and Florida Fresh Meats, floridafreshmeats.com. Jan's a great guy, and he's going to be working with us soon at a couple of other projects where you can taste his great products, which are available at Orlando Meats on Virginia right now. We will see you next Tuesday right here on PrimeTime Kitchen's How Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Bye.